You got it. And welcome back to Pretty Does Count, because it does. My name is Laura, and I want to say thank you so much for tuning in. Yes, today is Sunday. Happy Sunday. I wanted to jump in. I recently saw the Michael movie, and it was absolutely fantastic. I urge everyone who is thinking about watching the Michael movie to just go ahead and watch the movie. It was a wonderful movie, and it was so wonderful that I didn't want it to end. I wanted more. I wanted to see more of Michael's progression within his lifespan. But they did give us quite a bit, and I took away some important notes from the movie. Joseph was a perfectionist. He expected all of his children to be perfect. Perfect. He always knew that there's room for improvement. His parenting skills, I'm not going to go into that, but Joseph really taught them at an early age that you do have to work hard if you want to be perfect at your craft. You do have to put in the energy, the time. We have to acknowledge the fact that Joseph within him had that excellent spirit that he wanted to instill in his sons. Like, no, I know that you all can excel in this life. And another thing, he also spoke words to uplift the Jackson 5 and to uplift Michael, that no, you all are great. You all can do great things. And that's important as parents, that we should always try to build our children up. We're always that voice that they hear, when they go out in the outside world, that no, you can do it. I believe in you. You are great. You can excel at anything. You can do it. That part of the movie I loved, is seeing Joe instilling that spirit of excellence, and then his children believing in it and embodying that. And also, Joe taught them a strong, unbreakable work ethic that's like no other at a very young age. So while all the children were playing outside, they had to work morning, afternoon, and night. Joseph was a visionary. He could see things. He could see Jackson 5 being the greatest of all time. He could see these things. He knew it. He had faith, unshakable faith. And it transferred to his children, which is powerful in itself. Another scene in the movie, it's just, first of all, I just want to give Jafar Jackson his flowers. He definitely embodied Michael. He really did. He understood the assignment, and it didn't feel forced. It felt very natural, like this was Michael. This was Michael. And he did an excellent job. And one thing about the whole Jackson family is that they do have that spirit of excellence. They do. They have a spirit of excellence. And that's something that we all can takeaway. Michael means who is like God. There is no one that is equal to the divine. So that's Michael, that name. If you think about all the Michaels, you know, Michael Jackson, Michael Jordan, like they really took that name, and that's why names are so powerful. As parents, we just want to make sure that we're naming our children names that are uplifting, that are powerful, that they can live up to, and that they will live up to. So I just think that the name Michael, who is like God? When I saw a Chris Brown interview, and it was the interviewer who was saying, you know, people are saying that you are like Michael Jackson. And Chris Brown was like, don't you ever, he was like, no, he was like, don't you ever put me in a category with Michael. He is the greatest. He is the greatest. There is no one like him. And that's his name. As Chris Brown, we know Chris Brown, we know his talent, we know Chris, he does his thing, but he even knows, Chris Brown even knows, like, no, you can't compare me to someone like him. And I just think that he has that much respect for Michael. Okay, Michael used to keep a journal, and he would just jot down all of his thoughts. He would jot down all of his thoughts. And one particular thing that just stuck out like gold, he said he would write out everything that he wanted to accomplish. He wrote down everything he wanted to accomplish. So Michael was a visionary. And also Michael used affirmations. Well, affirmations work. In that particular scene, when you see all of the post-its on his mirror, which I do as well. I love to put all of my affirmations on my mirror. And it was just so many of them, and I'm like, I didn't know he did that. And that means that if you want to be great, you want to be a perfectionist at your gift, you have to build yourself up. You have to see yourself as that person, as that woman, as that man. You have to have the vision. You have to build yourself with your words, with your affirmations. And that part was so powerful. Because I know for a fact that affirmations, they do work. And that's why I am coming out with a line of affirmation cards. I got journals on the way. Just stay tuned. But it just confirmed to me that affirmations will do wonders. And even Jafar was like, he didn't know that his uncle did all of these things. He didn't even know that, you know, writing things into existence, having the affirmations. He also stated that his uncle used to meditate for hours. This was on an interview I think he did with Kelly Clarkson. You know, the power of meditation. And also it was the scene where, and a lot of people picked this up, where he was in the swimming pool and he was just totally relaxed, and he was all around his brothers. I think it was a party, and the sun was beaming, the sun was shining. And he was like, everybody be quiet. Everybody be quiet. I need to be open to receive my next song. Otherwise, Prince would get it. So this is a spoiler alert. I don't want. I'm giving you like takeaways. So I hope you've already seen the movie. I really hope so. But just getting still, just getting quiet to receive from the divine, receive from God what your next move is. He wanted to be graceful with it. He wanted to be smooth with it and not forceful. Not forceful. Also, my biggest takeaway from this movie is communication. Be willing to communicate your needs and your wants. That stuck out to me because, Michael understood hard work. He understood sacrifice. And he wanted to break away from the family. He wanted to be independent and do his own thing. And he saw that for himself for a very long time. That was outlined in the movie. He saw himself as a star, but he needed to move on. And sometimes, especially with family, we want to stay connected because we understand that family is important. It absolutely is. But we also have to remember that we all have an individual purpose. We all have an individual gift. And he said it a lot of times in the movie that I want to let my light shine. Oh my goodness, my light shine. And sometimes when we're with family, you see it for yourself, but then it's like you can't fully express who you are because you're still connected to your family. Wanted the family to remain connected no matter what. He saw that, okay, Michael, the Jackson 5, everybody is equal. Everyone is equal. And sometimes that's not the case. Like I said, everyone has individual gifts, and it's up to us to have the courage to be brave enough to break away from the family unit. And it could be scary at times. And it was a lot of times throughout the scene that Michael was using other people to communicate to Joseph because he didn't have the will, he didn't have the courage to speak up and just say how he felt. Sometimes our parents can put us in a box, and sometimes parents think that they know what's best at all times. And sometimes parents don't want to let go for their children to explore new things and explore their way, their path. We can't hold on forever. Even as a parent myself, it is hard. We still see our children as babies, and we want to protect them, and we want to lead them in the right way. But just know that God is their ultimate parents at the end of the day. When we really take a closer look at it, God is going to be the one that is going to direct their path. Us as parents, we can lead them down there, but then God can magnify them in a way that we as parents, we don't even have that vision. The children have the vision, but we as parents, we could be limited. Oh yeah, we know our child, we know his limitation, we know what he can do, but no, you really don't know. You don't know what God put in their heart, So it definitely taught me a lot about parenting as well. That there's going to be a point where, they'll be fine. They'll be your children will do wonderful. You, as their parents, you just focus on raising them well and instilling in them words of affirmations, that they believe in themselves and that they can do anything that's possible, that they have the confidence and the courage to do so. So another part, that's why I say that this movie was all about communication, is because it was a scene that he was sitting on this car called Mercury. He got into an argument with his father, and he ran out the house. His driver asked, "Where do you want to go?" He was like, "Anywhere." So the driver drives off, and they end up at a hill overlooking the ocean. And it was this clear shot of the car and Michael sitting on the car. And the car was Mercury. Mercury, the planet represents transformation. It represents speed. It also represents communication. It was one particular scene where, multiple scenes actually, where he's always giving his time to the less fortunate, charitable. It's like he had this deep caring and love to be charitable of the less fortunate, the ones that were in the hospital. That was a call for me personally. And it's the children. I'm almost about to cry, but it's the children. And it was multiple scenes throughout the movie that he would always visit the children in the hospital, always talk to them about what he had going on, and also to have the kids speak about, their lives and what they love and what they liked and everything like that. So being charitable with your time and especially the children. So Michael, he knew that he wanted to break away from the family because he had visions. He was very clear. He had the whole lineup of how he would do it as a solo artist, as an artist independent of his brothers. He saw the vision. He saw the vision very clear. He was explaining everything to Berry Gordy. He was explaining everything to Berry Gordy, how he sees himself, the whole lineup would be, but he didn't act. His communication was still blocked. And that scene with Pepsi, that fire, oh my goodness, fire. Just fire within itself. He knew he needed to break away. Michael didn't want to do it, but he did it because he felt obligated to do it. This is my family. Let me just go ahead and do it. Why not? This is family. But how much are you willing to put your health? And see, this is the part that stuck out to me, because and I have my own personal story. How much do I have to sacrifice? It's like it's not enough. How much do I have to put myself on the line to be connected to something that, a family that I know that I need to break away from so that I can be the best version of myself? How much time, how much energy do I have to stay invested in this family unit that I know deep down, I know that I need to, break away and do my own thing? And the fire, that transformation again, that purifying, because now you're putting your health on the line. Now you're putting your life on the line. Like, now are you going to see that you need to make the necessary changes, that you need to pivot? And owning your voice, and not be afraid, and be unapologetic. Just be free with it. That you now have the courage to look someone in the eye and say, no, these are my boundaries, and this is what's going to happen. Just really owning your voice. That part resonated with me so much. And I gave you guys almost practically all the movie, but I highly urge you all to look at that movie and get your own personal takeaways, because I think we can relate. Everyone can relate to that. Everyone can relate to Michael, especially when it comes to owning our vision, owning our voice, and standing up for ourselves. Like, no, this is what I want, and this is what I'm going to do. And I'm not allowing anybody to push and shove or drag me into something that I don't want to do, because it's taking my focus away of what I see for myself. So I hope you watched the movie. I gave a lot away, and even with me saying all of the tea from the movie, and now you're urged to go and watch it, still go and watch it, because I am going to watch it again. Yeah, I want to go and watch it again, because I know that I will find something else in that movie that I missed from the first time. So I'm going to leave it here. I did a lot of yapping today, and I will see you all on the next one. I'm going to be back tomorrow, and I hope you have a happy Sunday, and I will see you on the next one. Bye for now.